thousands of men don't need to die. Only one of us.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Rant of Motherfucking Thrones. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Kelly, and we are a mother and son podcast review duo. Not great, not horrible, somewhere in between.
Yeah, we're somewhere right in the middle, just like the rest of everybody in the world, pretty much. You know, we're average. Sometimes we have our good heroic days, and then other days we don't have those. And that's why we call ourselves the poor man's Game of Thrones after show. I'm very excited to talk to you, though, Mom, because we've been looking forward to this episode for quite some time. It's season 6, episode 9, Battle of the Bastards.
The Bastard Bowl. Yeah, we've been talking about this all year long.
Yeah.
In anticipation.
I've already done a reaction video to this with my girlfriend. It'll be somewhere in the description, thumbnail, like card thing, somewhere around there.
Let me just say, I've never been more proud.
Yeah, oh, really?
Could you not see the sarcasm on my face?
I could. Yeah, it was quite fun. I felt it was only 2 beers that I had, but I felt terrible for the next morning and on into the afternoon for some reason. I don't understand why.
Maybe it's just that the dispersion method from the helmet cam thingy. You know, I don't know what it was. It was weird, but
it could have been. Man, I'm going to murder the dog back there. I need Ramsay's hounds to take out this other dog. We just got a puppy, and this puppy is insane. It is a little black lab. It is like the cutest dog. It sits like a monkey, literally sits like a monkey, which is weird.
You said you wanted a black lab. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, but it's the craziest thing how it sits. I wonder if I can demonstrate exactly how it sits, since now we're on video.
I'm moving stuff out of the way so I can see the complete screen, so I can see this.
Okay, yeah, so this is how it sits. So sorry if you're listening to this on an audio form and podcast form on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever. This is how the dog sits. I'm going to get over here, and I'll show you exactly how it sits. It's very awkward. It looks like
Thank God you have pants on.
Yeah, I do. I have jeans on.
Man, I'm so glad.
So this is how it sits, okay?
Okay,
Let's see
great.
If you can get this far back. Oh,
okay.
You can't see it because
we can't see because of the thing at the bottom. Do it in your chair. Do it in your chair.
This could be a disaster.
I hope not.
But imagine this is the floor right here. This is the floor.
That's the ground.
This is the dog. See the butt. The butt doesn't get on the floor.
Yeah. So
very awkward.
Have you seen the dog poop?
I have seen the dog poop.
Okay, so it's not just sitting there trying to force one out.
No. He's not trying to force one out. It's just a very awkward sitting stance that he does. And he has the world's longest arms for a puppy. And so we call him Monkey. Like he looks like a little monkey. Then whenever he wraps his arms around our other Dotson wiener dog, he just like envelops him in his arms.
It's so sweet.
It is very sweet, but right now he's being barky, so I apologize for that. So let's get right into the episode. So this episode was directed by Miguel Sapochnik. I totally ruined his name whenever I did my first impressions, that's what I'm going to be doing next week after the finale as well. I'll put up a quick video. It'll be pretty rambly. It's just like my first thoughts after I saw the episode, and then we'll come back and do the podcast later on in the week with you, my mom. And we're going to be doing that for a lot of our TV shows going forward. So like whenever we watch The Walking Dead, if there's another TV show that we cover, I'll be doing my first impressions immediately after the episode airs, get that put up and everything, and then we'll be back later on the week with our full thoughts on the episode. So I totally ruined his name. I thought it was Michael Sapochnik, but it's Miguel. He's the guy that did Hard Home, and he's actually directing episode 10 as well, which leads me to think that episode 10 is going to be batshit crazy.
Yes, definitely. I don't know if you could see my head in my hands when you said that. I didn't realize he was going to be directing that. Because obviously when he directs, people typically die.
Yes.
A lot of people die.
Lots of people die. It's always like it's just a super emotional roller coaster ride throughout his episodes. I've definitely now known since directing this episode in Hard Home for directing epic battle sequences, because holy shit, those 2 episodes alone, to me, you can put them like right there in the upper echelon of TV and movies battle sequences.
Yes, all of them. And I actually, because I watched the episode twice, and the second time I watched it, I loved it even more than the first time. And I was going to, right before we podcasted, to watch it again. And I thought, I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch Hard Home just to compare the battles sequences. Mm-hmm. And this one, and I know you probably don't agree with this, I liked this one better. This one was fucking amazing. It was so good.
I will agree with you that this one is amazing. And if we're looking at battle sequences alone, there's not a comparison, because you went back and watched Hard Home. I went back and watched every episode 9 since season 1 all over again, because I didn't mention it up at the top of our recap that this was the penultimate episode.
Oh, dang.
I know, you almost got away without me saying penultimate in our recap. But no, so I went back and I watched, let's see, I wrote some notes down here. I'd actually just watched season 1, episode 9, a month before Game of Thrones started. So actually, it was a week before Game of Thrones started.
That's where Ned got his head chopped off, was 9, right?
Yes, yes, indeed it was. So, that episode, it wasn't the spectacular, amazing, blow it out of the water episodes that Game of Thrones has been, is now known for episode 9, because after that one, we got season 2, episode 9, which was Blackwater. So it was the Battle of the Blackwater, which was this amazing, crazy fight at King's Landing as Stannis was trying to ransack King's Landing. Amazing episode. Like, really, really damn good. I love the Hound in that episode. I think that was the episode where I officially became super duper in love with the Hound. Whenever, the wildfire's going everywhere and the Hound just walks back in, he's like, fuck the King's Guard, fuck the city, and fuck the king. And he just left. He dropped the mic and he ran off and left. But it was an epic episode. Then in season 3, episode 9, we got the probably most traumatic episode in Game of Thrones history, and that was the Reigns of Castamere.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I was thinking Red Wedding.
That's the Red Wedding. That was the name of the episode.
Oh,
title,
okay. Yeah, that was the one you spoiled for me before I had a chance to see it. Yes.
Indeed. Super emotional episode. It was a really, really crazy ending. I mean, I just wrote down holy shit balls that ending, because that one was super emotional. And then in season 4, episode 9, we got the Watchers on the Wall. And that's when the wildlings, they attack the wall. Sam professes his love for Gilly. We had some, the epic battle sequence in that episode. Right. And I forgot how epic Tormund and Sir Alistair's fight was in that episode. And then, Ygritte.
Your favorite.
Yeah, favorite dying in that episode. And I just wrote the deaths hurt. So
I know. That was a sad one for you. It was for you and John. Yeah.
Yeah, for me and John, it was a very, very sad episode. So, all right. I just wanted to talk about those really quickly to just kind of compare what we got in previous episode 9s to what we got in this one, which was just all out carnage. I mean, it only focused on basically Dany's storyline in Meereen and Jon and Ramsay's encounter at Winterfell. So overall for you sound like this is like the best episode ever for you. Is it the best episode for you?
It's not the best episode ever for me. Probably the Red Wedding, that episode. I'm better about remembering the touchy-feely things, the ones that make me cry. Obviously, I didn't cry when Ramsay died. I was cheering.
Cry when Ramsay
I didn't
died?
cry. I didn't cry. So
how dare you?
I know. And they could have made me cry a lot. I'm sorry. I didn't cry when when Rickon died.
That is the one thing this episode that I thought was missing, was the fact that for me, the deaths weren't as emotional as they were in previous seasons, because I felt that they were a little bit more earned in previous seasons. I mean, when you see Robb and Catelyn Stark dying, I mean, you are just like destroyed inside.
Well, we're in the middle of just the happiest, most joyful moments. They're finally getting some wonderful things happen to them, and it's just ripped away. And you know, when you have cut a baby out of somebody's stomach, I mean, that's just, my God. So those kind of things are the ones that I will unfortunately dream about over and over again.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's funny because there was IGN's review, the guy that reviews IGN, Game of Thrones on IGN, his name's Matt Fowler. And to me, he illustrated exactly what is tough for me, and I think a lot of other Game of Thrones viewers, is probably as well as yourself. Let me find it right here. He said, it's funny Game of Thrones viewers are so used to having that rug pulled out from under us that sometimes we don't know when to ease up and enjoy a solid victory. It's almost like we don't trust it. But this one felt super earned given the long journey of the Starks. It even felt earned just based on this season alone. So I will agree with him there. Like, it did feel extremely earned, especially on Sansa's part. I mean, good God, this girl has been put through the ringer for 6 straight seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, dudes have been absolutely atrocious to her.
Here she was, just this sweet, sweet thing. All she wanted was to marry the prince and live happily ever after and be a wonderful, sweet wife and do little needlepoint for him and give him beautiful babies. And, you know, and she's been crapped on and crapped on and crapped on, which I'm so curious on where they are going to go with Sansa. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your point, because now I'm getting off on a tangent with
no, that
Sansa.
that was one of my biggest questions.
Everything about this was a fantastic episode. Obviously there was extra horse work in here, and so I got super excited every time during the battle that, you know, these horses were smashing into each other, and to find out that a lot of that was actual practical stunts was just, oh my God, you know, amazing. But with Sansa, you know, now that Littlefinger is back into her life, and he was the hero for her, you know, for her brother, for her, she wouldn't have been able to stick the dogs on Ramsay's face if Littlefinger hadn't showed up with an army. Is she gonna bed down with that mother humper now?
It's very awkward to think about that. Coming out of the episode, that is definitely one of the biggest questions. And I mean, in the little teaser for next week's episode, the season finale, we do get that one scene between Littlefinger and Sansa where it's I don't remember what she said. Maybe she said, like, what do you want? Because he said, you know what I want.
You know what I want.
Yeah.
No.
Reaper.
I hear it in my head. Sansa.
Oh, he
does it in that really quiet, whispery voice. And he's got a fantastic accent. So I mean, I wish he wasn't such a creeper, because he could be kind of hot.
He's definitely a creeper. I just don't know what's going to happen, because all the stuff that's happened to Sansa is, a lot of it has had to do with Littlefinger. Right. I mean, if you go back to season 1,
moving her around as a chess piece.
Exactly. He has been moving all the chess pieces around when it comes to Sansa, especially. He was directly responsible for Ned's death. So what is going to come of this? Because now he's the hero. Like you said, I mean, he's the one, he came riding in on the white horse and saved Jon, saved everybody, you know, all the good guys at least. So I don't know what's going to come from that relationship. Like, at this point, she doesn't know, obviously, that he was responsible for Ned's death. I mean, he's the one that came up behind Ned and, you know, held the knife to his throat and was like, I told you that you shouldn't trust me and stuff like that.
Right.
And of course, you know, he's the one that orchestrated her going off to be with Ramsay in the first place, to get tortured there with Ramsay. And I'm sure there's many other things that he was behind the strings, like pulling, especially whenever she was with Joffrey. Cersei and everything, that whole debacle for Sansa and everything. So what do you want to happen with Littlefinger? Like, do you want Jon or one of the Starks to ultimately kill Littlefinger?
This is sad for me. Ramsay, I'm happy that he went the way he went. I'm glad that the Starks finally got their revenge on him. But I hate to see that character go because he was so incredibly bad. I love a really bad character. And so at this point, I'm not sure that I really want to see somebody kill off a really horrible character like Littlefinger quite yet.
No, I think so as well. It's tough on a show like Game of Thrones whenever we have these quote unquote villains of the show.
Everybody's a villain on this show.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Sansa herself in this episode. Does she come off as somewhat, I wouldn't say villainous, but she definitely, to me, she could have came off in a really bad light in this episode.
Are you talking about just because of the little smile that she gave when?
No. That, I think that was, well, that was
earned.
Yeah, that plays into it, but I think obviously it was well earned. I mean, if somebody treated me that way, I'm definitely going to be like, smiling all the way to the bank after I killed your ass. But no, I think that is a portion of it. But the larger picture is she didn't cost, a lot of bloodshed, but she kind of, she didn't help stem a lot of the bloodshed in this episode, because think about it this way. Had she told Jon about Littlefinger and the fact that the Knights of the Vale may be coming, maybe they aren't coming, maybe they are coming.
Right. Just wait just a little bit longer.
She told him to wait. She told him to wait, and I love that scene.
She didn't tell him why, though.
No, she did not tell him why. They've kind of got caught in a little trap on Game of Thrones in this season because they've been progressing so rapidly through the storyline. Yeah. And maybe maybe we're just supposed to be led to believe that this kind of stuff happens off screen, which I don't like. Like, that's what I love about Game of Thrones. It's very detailed. I mean, it's very, very much in-depth discussions that you get on Game of Thrones. Like we talked about, the dialogue. They go into great lengths to explain a lot of things and to show us a lot. And in this season, they've kind of cut back on that. It's almost like in The Walking Dead, where something happens and it's not explained, but then you got to watch The Talking Dead afterwards, and then they're like, oh yeah, we
had to cut that out.
Well, this is what happened in this scene, and this is what this meant. I'm like, no, you didn't show it on screen, so we can't just say, oh, that's the reality. So I don't know, because we never really found out whether or not Jon told Sansa that he had died previously. That was kind of like never ever discussed, which I wanted to see that on screen, which we just didn't get. But I don't know, with Sansa not telling him, I feel like that could have changed the direction of how things basically what the result was of the fight and everything.
She is playing a little bit the injured party. She's playing that up.
Yeah.
She played that up to her brother, that, he hurt me. We need to go get rid of him because he hurt me really badly. With her she directly, when she lied to him about writing the letter, when she starts laying the groundwork to actually lie to her brother, or just a mission of truth, that was what makes me worried about where she's going with everything. But as far as, I think Jon's going to barely get a rest, and he's going to be off fighting another battle immediately by next week anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they have in the little teaser, they have a snippet of Jon and Sansa, and they're talking about, we need to trust one another and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I hope that it comes up. I hope that it's like, hey, why the hell did you not tell me that the Knights of the Vale were coming? Now, playing devil's advocate for Sansa, had she told him that, they may not have been able to draw Ramsay out. Like if they would have showed up, Knights of the Vale, Wildlings,
I just sacrificed my little
two people or whatever.
Sacrificed my little brother. You know, here, just my little brother just got killed because we need to draw you out and let you think that you're stronger than us.
Well, I mean, I think that's where Sansa has learned that from Littlefinger. I mean, she's learned how to play the game, and she even said that to Jon. She's like, he's already gone. She's already thinking like she's already thinking in advance. Like, there's no more Rickon. Like, Rickon, he's dead. He's gone. You know, I loved him, but there's nothing that we can do for him now.
Somebody had to be pragmatic, and Jon is never pragmatic. Jon is very emotional. He leads with his heart, just like his dad, and that was what Sansa was trying to warn him of before the battle. Look, he's just gonna keep trapping you. He's gonna pull you in constantly, and he did time after time after time. Immediately, just as soon as he started shooting arrows at Rickon, Jon stupidly took off running. That was just so dumb because he wasn't going to be able to save him. I would have done the same thing. I done the exact same thing.
No, I wrote it down. I mean, Jon is the perfect soldier, and he's the perfect captain of your army, but he's not the perfect leader for those very reasons. Like, I mean, he played right into Ramsay's hands in this episode, in this battle. I mean, it was by, I guess,
the grace of God.
Yeah, the old gods and the new saved his ass in this episode, because he should have died so many times. I mean, I'm obviously glad that he didn't die, but it was a little bit almost unbelievable that he didn't die. And that's like this episode to me, whereas in the TV, like the past episode 9s and the past seasons of Game of Thrones, they definitely felt more like they were formatted for TV because of the way that they mainly, how they shot the show, how the battles played out. And they felt a little bit more small scale, like, we're really building this story up and, developing these characters. And this season has kind of felt more like a big blockbuster movie for 9 hours, because it's just been like boom, 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 like one after the other. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like, it's a bad thing when it comes to the Arya storyline, because that was just completely butchered, in my opinion. But it's a great thing when we get episodes like this, where it's like, holy shit, this is just so amazing. I mean, whenever, like you were talking about earlier, because I think we probably watched the same thing. We watched that
the making of
the battle and everything, and how they're using these real horses, and they've got that car that basically is tracking, they're using that to film the moving shots and everything. And it looked glorious. That one shot of Jon as he, it's from his
behind.
From behind perspective, as he's looking at that cavalry charging towards him. That's one of like the coolest shots ever, I think. I mean, it's just I've watched the episode 3 times. The first time I watched it, I really loved it, the entire episode, but I was like, oh, it's still kind of lacking some things that I'm wanting out of the episode. Watched the second time, my feelings started to change a little bit more to where I'm like, this episode's badass,
it's freaking amazing.
Yeah. And then when I watched it the third time, I'm like, holy crap, this episode is just amazing. Like,
it was so beautifully done. It took them 25 days to shoot the battle scenes, which, there's a lot of movies that shoot in that amount of time.
Yeah.
And they're shooting 1 hour of a TV show. So
and 20 minutes of an episode or something like that.
Right.
So, God, that's incredible when you think about it. I mean, I can see now why they're moving to shorter seasons next season, which sucks.
It sucks for us, but I think we can expect some just unbelievable TV.
Yeah, and I mean, when you talked about Ramsay earlier, and I don't know if I went back and touched on it, but yeah, I'm gonna miss Ramsay as well. I'm gonna miss having that villain. I do think that, right now, looking at the board, at the chess piece board, we do still have Littlefinger. We don't really know what's gonna come from him. We have Euron Greyjoy. I think that he's going to be a nice little adversary for Dany and for Theon and for Yara, because they join forces.
His big
Yes.
cock.
Yeah, they made sure to put that one in there. You know, Yara said that he wants to give you his big cock.
Yeah, he's going to bring you his big cock.
Yeah. What did you think about those scenes overall?
What did I think? I loved their scenes.
Mhm.
They have got a shit ton of chemistry, the two of them. I didn't think Dany was going to go gay, but I think that's where she's headed. Or actually, I think she's gonna like both sides, because obviously, you know, her honey that she's got right now is pretty hot, so she's not gonna kick him to the curb. But I loved how they all came from horrible fathers, and that they could all commiserate about that. The fact that
On Father's Day, no less.
yes, on Father's Day, that was hilarious. I saw you pointed that out in one of your videos, which was pretty great.
Yeah.
But the idea that they wanted to band together to make the world a better place is what that's what they said.
And burn it down. And kill some
okay,
uncles.
Okay. It was after that part. After she did all that, right?
I would like to think that those uncles and the people they're going to burn down probably think they're making the world a better place.
Those are bad people. They need to be
Yeah.
they need to be burned down. But I mean, they said that they would like to make the world a better place.
Yeah, they did say that. And what to finish my other thought about the villains, because I go off on tangents. I think that the reason why they had to ultimately kind of move Ramsay aside is because, you know, we sadly are in the home stretch of Game of Thrones, and it's going to get to where it's going to be the battle of our characters versus the Night King,
right,
and the White Walkers.
I think we needed Winterfell back.
We did. We did need Winterfell back. I mean, it's been a long time since we saw Starks in Winterfell, they weren't captives or prisoners.
Pretty amazing when their banner came back down.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was like, and you know, I never realized that the Bolton's banner was actually a dude hanging upside down.
Flayed.
God dang, who does that? Who puts that on their I guess their sigil?
Yeah, no, that's their sigil. I mean, the Boltons are crazy. Like they're psychos. The flayed men.
The flayed men that they had out in the battlefield, was it like it was their own dudes?
You
come on, you're burning.
we got to get ready for the battle, folks.
Exactly.
It's about to happen. We need some bodies.
Yep, we have to light this correctly, and the only way to do that is to peel off your skin and turn you upside down in an X and catch you on fire. So
yeah, that really sucks. Like, think about that. I mean, you know, John's army, you know, nobody had to sacrifice themselves before the battle, but you know, in Ramsay's army, they're like, all right, we're gonna need a few of you as scrubs out here. I'm
assuming it had to be his own guys.
The only other person I could think of is he did have is it Asha?
Yeah.
You know, he had killed her a couple episodes back, but I don't
think
he
saved her for the burning.
I don't know, but I like to think that it was one of, you know, some of his men and not her, because I loved her, and I was annoyed that they killed her off. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, they just brought her back in to kill her off in one episode just to kind of give us another glimpse of how evil Ramsay could be. While we're talking about evil people, I wanted to show this real quick. I got this, it came in yesterday. It's Game of Thrones Psychology. The mind is dark and full of terrors. This is I don't know what number this is in their book series, but they've got quite a few. I've read the Walking Dead one. They've got a Star Wars psychology book, and like I said, I just picked this one up. It actually just came out maybe last week, I think, is when it just came out. And there's a chapter on Ramsay in this book. It's like what they are. They're basically like essays from psychology professors, from
smart people.
Yes, from very smart people. They're really good though. Like the way that they construct these chapters, it's not boring at all. Like, even if you're not a psychology major, or you didn't study that, or, you know, you're just, you know, not super smart like I am.
Just a regular dum-dum.
Yeah, exactly. Just a regular dum-dum like myself. It's really enjoyable. Like, they're not super long. They're not super, like, way above your head or anything like that. His chapter is Ramsay, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to that one. I was gonna read it before we got into the podcast, but then life got in the way. But it looks really good. Like I said, the Walking Dead one was perfect. Like I loved it so much. So I'm excited to check that one out. So it was like $6 on Amazon. So
thanks for ordering one for me.
I know I should have double ordered.
It would have been nice.
Good son,
but no.
Yeah, I was an asshole, son.
Yep. Change your last name to Snow.
I'll be well, okay, so it was Ramsay Snow. Damn. Everybody in the north, they're Snows.
They're Snows if they're a bastard.
Yeah, well, no, that's just if they're in a certain region. I didn't know that as well. Like I
just said if they're a bastard and in that region, they're a Snow.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
If you listen to me,
I thought you just meant if they're a bastard. Period. I didn't realize that bastards had different names in different regions of Westeros. But there was a video from Emergency Awesome. His name, the guy that does it, his name's Charlie, and he like went into detail about if you're in this region, this is what your bastard name is, and this is what your bastard name is. So I thought it was really good. It was a nice video. Okay, so let's get into a few like actual things that happened in the episode really quickly. I just want to touch on some things, just mainly because I want to get your thoughts on them because I thought they were great. So we opened up the episode in Meereen with the crazy battle of Meereen, which was super short. Had to have been like the shortest battle ever on Game of Thrones because once Dany showed up with her dragons and burned the shit out of that one ship, it was pretty much over. But I absolutely loved the two interactions between the Masters. The first one was with the Masters, Dany, Tyrion, Grey Worm, Missandei, and everything. That one was fantastic. I love the fact that those dudes were just so sure of themselves,
very arrogant, very cocky. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and I like that they kind of they played along with them for a minute to let them get even cockier.
Yes.
Because we have knives and we're going to cut your throat here in a minute. So, just help us figure out which one of you is going to die by spewing what assholes you are. I loved that scene. Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, Dany was just, it wasn't even like a super, she wasn't super demonstrative in her speaking, right, but her words meant a lot. And she didn't have to get to the high decibel levels. She wasn't like screaming at them. Right. When she said, I don't think we communicated clearly. We're here to negotiate your surrender. And then, Drogon comes in. I mean, he's just massive. It's crazy, like how big he is. It's freaking awesome. And then I loved whenever those three dudes and that one asshole guy's like, pushing the guy up, and he's like, yeah, take this one, take this one. He's a lowborn. He doesn't speak for us. Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna die now. Yeah. I loved when Tyrion, he had his speech to him, and he's saying, go back and tell your people that the only reason why you're alive is because of the grace of Dany, your
Daenerys
queen.
Stormborn.
Yes, the mother of dragons, the breaker of chains, the blah blah blah, a million other names. But I love the fart. I love the part where he says,
I love that fart too.
I mean, that fart's great. My Twitter name that I came up with is still fantastic.
It is good.
I'm holding that one close to the vest because I'm not going to let anybody take it. But it does have to do with farting. But, whenever he said, it does seem a bit abstract, other people dying. Like, that was such a cool thing because it kind of like directly correlated with the Battle of the Bastards and the fact that you see Jon Snow out there fighting with his men. Like, he's, that's why I said, he's one of the most badass soldiers that you can have in your army because he's not only the leader of the army, but he's out there on the front lines.
Right.
And then you see, the direct opposite with Ramsay, which he's kind of like his masters.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to get dirty if he can help it. He's going to send as many people out. I mean, he's having his archers shoot off into the whole fray that's going on because he doesn't give a shit if his people all die as long as he kills Jon's people.
Exactly. And And that's what's weird. I mean, this has like been a whole theme that's kind of being broken down in Game of Thrones episodes, especially in this season. You know, it's the old versus the new way of doing things. And, you know, because Dany, she's taking down all the old ways of doing things. I mean, that's her like sole objective in life. And, you know, like I said, you know, so we see Tyrion having the speech of the Masters, and then we see like later on, like it playing out right in front of our eyes of the fact that death is a little bit abstract to these highborn people. I mean, you know, Cersei herself, I think that it was a little bit abstract to her, maybe not necessarily death, but just like, you know, kind of seeing how it is when you're not in power. She's been seeing that a lot in this season, but whenever she had to do her walk of shame and everything. So I think that was like her wake up moment and everything as well. Which I can't wait to see her. That was one of the things I missed the most in this episode was no Cersei. Like we got to see what happens there. Like I know they're gonna touch on all that in the finale, but yeah, that's just amazing. So as far as because I had a question about Dany, because just wrapping up the Meereen stuff, because we already talked about the fact that they made a pact, Dany and Theon and Yara. Will Dany just destroy Euron? Like, is Euron going to get introduced into the show and just not even really put up a fight? Or do you think that this dude, I mean, apparently he was the ultimate badass out there on the seas. Like, nobody wanted to mess with him. People feared him. So do you think that we're going to get some kind of epic sea battle next season?
Does he have a dragon?
He does not have a dragon, but... this is not something they touched on in the show, but in the books, he has like some horn. I think it's a horn. And that's basically
maybe that's what they meant by the big cock.
Well, see that's where a lot of book readers are annoyed with some of the things they do in the show. Like they kind of make it more like MTV as opposed to I don't know, classical music or something. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, so in the book, without going into, I don't know if they're ever going to bring this into the show, because it's kind of like sometimes the show doesn't want to go all the way in on the magical stuff. But anyways, he has a horn or whatever that basically can make it where he can manipulate the dragons. And I forget what this horn's called. You can look it up on your phone as I'm speaking right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if
that's her ace in the hole. That's her total power right there.
Exactly. So that, and from what I can recollect in the books, basically whenever the King's Moot happens, that's what Euron brings to the King's Moot. You know, he doesn't just bring his big cock. He actually brings this big ass horn or something like that.
Okay. See, now that would make me think twice about wanting to marry him and take all of his dragons.
Exactly.
I mean, all of his
ships.
Boats.
Yes, boats. So I'm curious if they're gonna bring that element in from the books to the TV show next season, because otherwise, like you said, it's not going to be a fair fight. Like Dany is just like they destroyed that one ship, and the Masters and all the Masters army were just like, bloop, here you go, we're out of here because we're not going to fight anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how that all plays out next season, because I want
Dragon Binder. Does that sound right? Dragon Binder?
I don't know.
I mean, it's, you know, like it's the where you.
It's a trapper keeper. It's the
dragon.
The dragon.
Dragon Binder, trapper keeper. That's. I'm so glad. If we didn't have video, you wouldn't have been able to see that I was doing this.
I did.
Trapper keeper. Because I couldn't remember the
dragon trapper keeper. Remember back in elementary school when you had the dragon, the trapper keeper?
Yep, that's it. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember the exact name for it and everything. And like I said, I haven't read that far in the books, but I do read up enough, like on the Game of Thrones wikis and stuff like that. Whenever Euron was introduced in the show, because I was like, "Who the hell is this dude? I don't know who he is. Let me go read up on him a little bit." And that's when I read all about him and his thing that can basically put him in control of the dragons. Because also I thought that was going to come into play with Dany, because she was having issues. She's having performance issues with controlling the dragons there for a little bit. So
she was.
It'd be a lot worse if you said that and she was a dude or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, she would not take it the same way.
Yeah, you don't quite have those issues with women, I don't think, most of the time.
Nah, we can fake it. I was watching her as she was riding her dragon, and she's trying to look to see where she's telling him to burn.
Yeah.
Basically, he's getting to decide all of that. There was nothing fun, nothing comfortable. I would like a remote, is what I would like.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, get on him just because it would be fun to, be flying around. But
you want a drone dragon, is what you want, right?
Definitely, because the way she's riding on his back, and he's at an angle like this.
Yeah.
It's a good thing she's a horseback rider. She's strong.
Yeah, you're getting some scales back there.
Yeah, and they're pointy, and not in a good spot.
I don't know if you'd like that too much. I mean, maybe some people out there might like that. Some girls might like that. Some dudes might like that.
Exactly.
I don't want a dragon scale up my butt or my vagine.
It's actually, I was going to say it's a totally different show, but for this show, it could actually work.
Well, maybe there's that Game of Thrones porn out there.
Sure there is. I'm sure.
Get on the dragon scale back. It vibrates as well.
Yeah, but that will be interesting because he's a good, strong character, and obviously, since we've gotten rid of Ramsay, we need another person to really hate. So
yeah, you don't really. I mean, you hate the Night King, but you really don't know the Night King. It's not like the Night King is having coffee with you. I don't know his personality.
Exactly, I don't know his personality.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a personality.
He's cold. He's very cold.
This is personality right here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Dead, cold, blue eyes.
Yes. Well, we don't know. He's not technically dead, I guess. The Night King isn't. I mean, I don't know. We saw the Children of the Forest create him.
Right.
But
so, I mean, if you had that thing
shoved up in my chest
into your chest, do you think you'd live through it?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably not so much. Probably not so much.
and your shit brown eyes
exactly.
turning blue would...
That'd be awesome. I would love blue eyes. I've always wanted blue eyes. Okay, let's get back and let's wrap up the battle because there were some other things that happened in this episode. I'm trying to think. Okay, the number one... Well, I don't even think we have to touch on this. I mean, good God, Rickon, just zig and zag. That's all you had to do.
Come on! And why couldn't they scream to him, zig, zag?
Yeah, you would think.
Back and forth, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, that's kind of beating a dead horse at this point.
Stop,
no offense
drop,
to all
and
the...
roll. Jump up. You're a kid. You have the energy.
Yeah, exactly. You should be able to move all over the place.
Yeah.
Let's see. Before we get into the battle itself, because I've got literally like broken down by little different points in the battle and everything.
Yeah. Let me show you. Oh wait, hang on.
Let me see your notes.
Oh, okay, wait. Now can you see my note there, what it says?
Amazing. Episode amazing. We should have been done with this like 40 minutes ago. Okay, well, there is a couple things I wanted to talk about. We already talked about Littlefinger. We already talked about Sansa. Will Dany destroy Euron? Let me see. We already talked about, was this the greatest battle you've ever seen?
It was definitely the greatest battle ever. I mean, Game of Thrones. I love all of the Lord of the Rings movies. Love them.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a little bit higher than some of the battles in Lord of the Rings.
The battle for Helm's Deep was one of the coolest battles in Lord of the Rings. That was probably my favorite battle out of all of the Lord of the Rings movies, all of the Hobbit movies. And it wasn't even like, I mean, it was obviously it was a major battle, right, but it wasn't the like biggest battle in the show or in the movies.
But see, it had that whole comedic element to it, when they're doing their death counts competition.
Yeah. I mean, they did have a lot of little bits of humor in the Lord of the Rings for sure. I mean, compared to Game of Thrones, I mean, it's like obviously it is a children's story. Game of Thrones, not so much. But I don't know. I mean, on TV, I can't think of anything better. I mean, we've gotten some nice little small tastes lately from The Walking Dead, where we've had epic battles between the walkers in season 6, episode 9, whenever they had to, the battle for Alexandria, basically, where Rick went out and killed all those walkers and destroyed them. That was pretty epic.
To me, it's when you introduce animals, when you put the horses in there, and I know it's partly because I am a horseback fan, but to try to choreograph all the stuff that they did, I mean, it's so much easier if you're just doing people. Yeah,
well, and then people, well, they do have real people as the walkers too. I mean, they do use some CGI, but no, I will agree with you. I mean, I think that's why for me, it's always the most epic battles in TV or film are the ones that are the old school battles, like the Civil War battles, or medieval battles, that kind of stuff. Those are always, to me, the most impressive technically, like you said, because I mean, they have to use real horses, which would be very difficult. That scene where the first part where Jon is he's racing towards Ramsay and the arrows are coming down, and like we said, that one amazing shot. That's going to be on, there's a Twitter account called like One Perfect Shot or something like that. And that is like one perfect shot as he's looking on at that cavalry. But that part where the horses are coming together and they collide like right around Jon Snow.
Right.
It is incredible. Like, that is so freaking amazing. The way that they meshed the CGI with the real stuff was just absolutely phenomenal. As I'm watching that making of, I'm thinking, Jesus, like how do they do this behind the scenes? Like, I mean, that's one thing. I just want to be a fly on the wall. Like, I'll never understand how to edit that stuff, but I want to know.
I want to watch all of it.
Mm-hmm.
All the behind the scenes. That's always my favorite stuff. I just love that. But I will say, because I'm a part of a mounted drill team, as you know, we do synchronized stuff on horseback. We've got a new drill that we're doing. I have a feeling it's going to be very much like the Battle of the Bastards. I mean, it's going to be a lot of.
Oh wow!
We're going to be dying. People. It's going to be.
I don't want to hear about this, Mom. Come on.
I'm going to.
I already told you. Yeah.
It's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be right up there with battles.
Well, just get it on camera, I guess.
Get it on camera, exactly.
That's the only thing I can tell you. If you're gonna go that way.
Yeah, might as well film it.
I want to, we got to get like 1 billion views off of that or something. People right now in the comments are like, "Oh my God, he wants his mom to die to get views on YouTube?"
If I'm gonna go, do it for the channel.
Yeah, do it for the channel. Subscribe down below. I did want to say that one shot as well, whenever Jon comes through with his sword and knocks that guy like 20 feet behind off his horse, was just freaking incredible. The other portion of the battle where 1-1 rips that dude in half.
Oh, I know.
God.
I love that most of the battle we saw from the perspective of Jon.
Yes.
And the sheer craziness of it. It means it's total insanity that's going on around him. And like we said, it's pure luck that anybody lives through a battle like that.
Yes.
And I like that we had that feeling from the whole thing. It's smoky and dirty and dusty and he's covered in blood and you can't see where to go next, and your back is turned and somebody's getting ready to stab you in the back, and one of your dudes comes along on a horse and just psh. I thought it was so beautifully done.
It was very, very much beautifully done. I mean,
oh wait, I just realized
the dead body pile was also one of my favorite things to see as well.
Okay, let me say this. Okay, so you've got a horse coming along,
oh my God,
and then another horse comes along, and then the horse is, oh God, that's so sad.
Man, that little tiny horse beat the crap out of that huge horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he gloating? Is he gloating over the horse?
Yeah, he is. Suck it.
Wow. So in this recap, we've had me sitting on a chair looking like I'm about to poop in the chair, and then you hitting
Playing with my horses.
Yeah, playing with your horses.
Yeah. Demonstrating. I was just demonstrating.
You know, we told you last week that we're the second greatest mother and son Game of Thrones YouTubers, but I think those two things combined have just rocketed us to the top. Like
winner.
Oh my God. Okay, I don't know where to go from there, but I don't even know where to go from there. Yeah, the music was fantastic in this episode. I really, really enjoyed it. That scene, like I said, where Jon is he's just covered, he's, basically getting smothered by the bodies and everything, was incredible. I loved it.
Like he was rebirth. I mean, it was literally like he couldn't breathe till he gets out and he takes that gasp of air. That's what it seemed like to me. It was like very symbolic.
And that's the first thing I'd be like, oh, thank God I made it out of this thing.
Right.
It was
and you did.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what you did.
I did. Oh my God, you're disgusting. You're so gross.
I was there.
You were there.
I was there.
Leave a comment down below if you know what we're talking about right now. It's grody. But I also love the fact
just so you're not grossed out, Justin. They cut you out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I did get cut.
Okay.
To me, it wasn't lost on me, at least, the fact that this would have been 2 times in a row for Jon Snow to die at the hands of his men had he died in that pile of dead bodies. Like, how shitty would that have been? I mean, because we had the epic music. I mean, they had the music playing like, oh God, this is Jon Snow's death. It's coming right here. Melisandre said earlier in the episode, maybe the Lord of Light he brought you back to die here today. And I was like, fuck you, Melisandre. I don't like you right now. But yeah, it was super, super intense. That was probably, to me, one of the most emotional moments in the episode. I think the second most emotional moment was 1-1 dying. Like, that was so horrific to see him die like that. There's that meme that's going around, some, like not all giants hold the door. Some of them open it, because we got, 1-1 dying in this episode, which breaks my heart. And then we had Hodor dying earlier in the season, one of the regular giants of the world in Westeros. Man, I would have just loved to see a Hodor and 1-1 like tag team killing White Walkers. Like, how epic would that have been? Like, Bran would have had to warg in to Hodor, but just seeing Hodor and 1-1 together would have been so badass.
Well, maybe in heaven that's going on, but
if they don't burn the bodies, they may come back as White Walkers. So
yeah.
Because we didn't see what technically happened to Hodor. We think he got ripped apart, but we won't know. And that was another person that I was like, dang, we really need them in battle. Was that chick that died in Hardhome last season?
Yeah.
Damn, she would have been badass had she been around. So, and then to the ending scene, Sansa and Ramsay. That was crazy. My girlfriend still can't watch it. She has to do this every single time.
Okay, it's a cat.
Oh God! Now you've got more props. More props.
Yeah. No, don't.
If only you would have blood to spurt out.
Oh, I could have done that, but I just didn't want to go that far. So,
man, next time you got to go that far, Mom. Like, we must see the blood come out next time. You got to keep that fake blood handy around there somewhere.
I know. It's here somewhere in my Walking Dead stuff, but anyway, I realized that was a cat. So
that's a scary ass kitten, though.
Okay, you know how long I've had this cat? This was in my crib with me. That is how old this. It's an old fucking cat.
That cat's got like 100 lives.
It does. Yeah. So I don't know why I've had it so long, but anyway.
Well, it just killed you. You kept it that long for it to eat your face.
You bastard! I thought you were a loyal cat.
Yeah. You're not loyal to me anymore. You just ate my face. Oh, I forgot. We totally missed the most epic face eating. I think it was better than Ramsay getting eaten by the Hound, and that was Tormund ripping Small John Umber's freaking throat out. Oh my God.
He went all Rick Grimes on him.
I know, the dude right behind your head. That's where Tormund went. I mean, I want to see that guy say that it was a shout out to The Walking Dead, because I feel like it was so similar, because, you know, Tormund's losing, he's getting his ass kicked by Small John, because this is like the first dude that Tormund's come across in Westeros, you know, now that he's in Westeros,
right?
That, you know, he punched him, he hit his ass hard, and then Small John Umber just kind of like, you know, he kind of flinched a little bit, but then looked back at him like, I'm not your regular dudes that you've been beating up on. That was an epic fight. Thank God Tormund lived, because he's got to see Brienne one more time. I mean, they've got to have the ultimate, you know, coming together.
You know what
coming
he means.
Together.
Yeah. It was so funny because I was watching the making of video, and I can't think of the guy that plays Tormund.
I mean, I can remember it.
It's some name that I could never pronounce.
Christoph something, yeah.
But he looks like this all the time in real life. I mean, it's just crazy. His eyes are so wide, and he just has that surprised look always.
Oh, he's a badass. Like, I'd love to hang out with him in real life. He seems super cool. I'm so sad that I don't live in Atlanta anymore, because he was in Atlanta for, I believe, episode 8 or 7. And just, I don't know what he was doing there. Maybe he's filming something else. But he literally just went down to this random bar that watches Game of Thrones. Like, he heard about it, and he was like, I'm going to go there and watch Game of Thrones with other fans. Like, holy shit. That's incredible. Like, I get that whenever, you know, we love The Walking Dead, and there's a bar in Atlanta that they do Walking Dead watch parties every week. Like, they have them every week, and like a lot of the cast members come there, but they're asked to come there, like through mutual parties and everything. Like, it's not like I mean, maybe some of them just show up, but a lot of times, like, they know that they're coming. There's like a table reserved for them and everything. This is literally this dude just like, I'm gonna go down here and watch Game of Thrones with random people. Fucking badass. The dude that plays Tormund, he's my boy. Like, I love him. Him, the Hound, Jon Snow. Like, I just can't. My mind can't even compute getting to see those 3 characters battle against the White Walkers together.
How are you going to squeal?
Well, it's going to be on camera, because I'm going to do a reaction video for it.
But I just want to see just a little. We got a preview.
That's the short preview that you're getting.
Okay. All right. I think it's going to be epic.
So hit some subscribes, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. Hit the
I can't even speak because I'm so excited about it.
You don't want to miss this. So you want it to come directly. You want the little notification thing set up. So as soon as it gets there, you can watch it.
Yeah. See me squeal like a pig, basically, whenever that comes on screen. It's going to be epic. So back to Sansa and Ramsay. Were you happy for her? And I think we're gonna end this podcast on that, because I don't think I have anything else that I want to talk about. The episode was badass.
I thought John was going to beat him to death, and I mean, obviously that's where he was headed. I love that he looked up, he saw Sansa standing there, and realized, oh wait a minute, I can't take this. This is her kill.
Yeah,
I love that, and I love that bitch got ate. So,
yeah, I mean, it was only fitting, of course, that he would get eaten by his hounds. I mean, he's fed multiple people to his hounds. They look so sweet. That one that got up in his face, like, he was so cute.
He was just hungry.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I want to eat. The blood was, when he starts licking his face, because the blood that's on his face, and you could tell that was the beginning of the end. That was like, okay, you got a taste. You got a little taste.
This is kind of delicious.
Yeah. Oh, and then the crunching, because like even whenever Sansa's walking away, you can still hear the crunching of bones and everything. And it was intense, and I'm super happy for Sansa. I'm sad to see his name is Ewan Rion. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but the guy that plays Ramsay, I mean, hats off to that guy. He did an amazing job playing Ramsay.
Oh, he's incredible. Just so twisted. And when you see any of the interviews that he did, he seems like the nicest guy. And he seems like he's been a little disturbed by playing this character, like that it has bothered him. I'm almost happy for him, other than the fact that he's losing an epic job. But I have a feeling he's going to sleep better.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I know he's pointed to that scene with Sansa last year in season 5 that really disturbed him. The wedding night scene and everything. So I know that, yes, I agree that I think that he probably will sleep better, and I just can't see how this guy couldn't get work. He said he's worried about getting typecast, and he said there was an interview with him that just came out because, like everybody's talking to him now and, kind of going over the scenes and everything in this episode. And he said, he's like, I'm really worried about getting typecast. I did just get cast as a young Adolf Hitler in some movie. Like,
oh
yeah, poor dude, man. I'm like, no, don't.
He's gonna have to break out the rom-com. They just don't accept any of those roles. Do a couple of romantic comedies, and because he seems like he's an amazing actor. So
he does seem like a very, very, very good actor. Like, I mean, if you can put that on that character, I mean, and be super nice in real life, I don't know.
Yeah. Just that finesse, his facial expressions were just, I love watching him on screen. I thought he was just glorious. What does it say about me that scene did not bother me? The crunching didn't bother me. And none of that scene bothered me. It didn't bother me. Something's wrong with me.
You're evil. You're evil incarnate. I mean, what can I say?
Oh my God!
You just killed your horse on screen a second ago.
I know.
I think you might get PETA after us. After you killed your horse on screen, and then you had your other horse gloat about it.
It's true. I didn't.
Man.
Hey, I didn't. I had no control over what happened.
Oh yeah, you're like, hey,
they did that on their. Yeah.
He's got a mind of his own.
Exactly. So.
No, I mean, it didn't bother me. I mean, I watched it. I mean, I thought it was intense. Like, I was like, hell yeah. Like, dude's getting devoured right now by his dogs. No, it didn't bother me or anything. I mean, I wasn't emotional about it. Even though I'm sad, like we said, I'm sad to see Ramsay go. He was a great villain. I would love to see, they used to do Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV. I would pay money. Like, if they were like, all right, we'll do this episode if everybody gives like $5 or whatever, and we get like a couple thousand people to give $5, a Ramsay versus Joffrey death match.
Oh my God, that would be so great.
It would be so fantastic.
God.
Like, I would love it so much. I mean, going back to see like Joffrey in previous seasons, you realize you don't know which one is worse. Like, because they're both terrible. They're both terrible human beings. They both have a screw loose. There's something not quite right with their chromosomes. And they were both incredible.
Most of them, evil characters, they have somebody that they love or something that they love. And neither of them, other than themselves and power, they didn't love anyone.
Well, they're extremely narcissistic. I mean, that is one thing. I mean, and it's funny that you say that. Bing. Because in that chapter, it's funny. I'm not going to go too deep into it or anything. It says, where is it at? Yeah, it says some individuals do a lot of killing. Some people who commit multiple killings do so for extrinsic reasons, which mean they're motivated to achieve other ulterior purposes, perhaps in the name of honor or justice or under the orders of a lord. It says even the mountain, Gregor Clegane, he's a monster of a human being by any metric. He commits atrocities under the auspices of being a soldier. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Sorry. Thousands die in the seven kingdoms where people often have no choice but to kill or be killed. But he said, Many died during the war for the Iron Throne, and with few exceptions, killing committed during battle is considered just and acceptable. Sometimes, though, individuals kill for their own intrinsic satisfaction. These are individuals who like doing it. So it just, it kind of talks about the fact that, there's different types of killers, mass murderers, spree killers, serial killers. It's just great.
Now, I will say, well, this is such a lame joke. I'm going to do it anyway. You used to kill some cereal.
Oh my God. And we just lost subscribers because of that joke. We just lost them.
This is alcohol induced. I've been drinking this for quite a while now. So the longer you go on in this recording, the worse it's going to be. So
that's very true. That's very true. Okay, I got to put this down because I'm over here reading it during the middle of our show.
I know, and I'm drinking and pulling out some lame ass jokes.
You are. Okay, so that means it's time to go because Mom's pulling out the lame ass jokes. That means it's time to wrap it up. We've been talking for way too long. All right, so do you have any final thoughts and what's your score out of Bacons?
I'm gonna have to give this a 5 bacon. This might be a 6 bacon episode. It was just a great, for me, it was a really great episode.
It was a very good episode. I will agree with you. I gave it, in my first impressions review, I gave it a 4.5 bacons out of 5. I think after watching it a few more times, I think I'm going to bump it up to 4 3/4 bacons. It's not quite a 5 out of 5 episode for me because of some of the conveniences with the action that happens. But
you're just never happy.
I am happy. I gave Hard Home to me is a 5 out of 5. Hard Home is a 5 out of 5 all day, every day. I can watch that episode a bazillion million times. I like this episode better. I like this episode better. No, okay. There's a couple of reasons why. I totally forgot to mention this. I think one of the things that for this episode that made it where it wasn't a 5 out of 5 for me. One, we did not get an epic speech. Like, I feel like that was needed.
The Braveheart speech.
Yeah, the Braveheart speech, phenomenal. We in season 4, episode 9, we got some awesome stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Sir Alistair, he had a badass speech in season 4, episode 9, The Watchers on the Wall. The Blackwater episode, Tyrion had another badass speech. The one where he's like, don't fight for your king, don't fight for this, don't fight for whatever else. He's like, fight for yourself because basically Stannis' men are going to come in here and rape your women unless you beat him back today. So epic speech in Blackwater. The Reigns of Castamere. I mean, you didn't need any epic speeches because you had epic deaths. But yeah, that was for me the only thing that was missing in this episode. Like I mean, call me stupid or whatever or cliche, but I love epic speeches, and they're riveting. They get you like ready for the fight. They're ready for the battle that's about to come. And
John is not an epic speech maker. He's just not. He's not. He's a follow me because I'm going to do it. And it's the right thing to do. So let's go do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, he gave a speech to the wildlings, and I mean, it was short, simple, and sweet. Like it was to the point, that was that. So you're right. I mean, he's not Stannis. He's not. I don't know. He's not one of these other leaders. I would say like who gives epic speeches? I guess Dany does. Dany's been given like 1 billion epic speeches like in the show. I'm like, damn, another speech by Dany. Oh, come on.
I'm a little ready for her speeches to be toned down just a little, honestly.
No, I agree, and that's why I'm like, where's John's epic speech?
Yeah.
But that's all right. I mean, and I think that was it. I think that was the 1/4 bacon that I didn't give it because we didn't have that. But everything else was just, it was so good. It was such a phenomenal episode. So we want to hear your thoughts. If you made it this far in the video, we want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think about the episode? Are you still liking us do this Google Hangout? We're much longer whenever we do the Google Hangout. Like whenever we were just doing it audio only, they were like a good 30-something minutes a piece. Now they're like getting in the hours, which is crazy.
How long have we been talking?
A long ass time. So about an hour and 15 minutes.
Good God, shut your pie hole, kid.
Yeah, I know. So we would love to hear your thoughts. Put them down in the comment box. We would love for you to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you like this content, if you like our reaction videos, and we've got plenty of more stuff to come as well. Who
else has props?
Yeah, yeah. You see any other Game of Thrones recappers and reviewers out there with horse props?
Okay, and let me just say, this horse is fine. You see, he's fine. He's not. I didn't
get off our backs.
Right, I didn't hurt him, so everybody's good.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back to discuss season 6, episode 10 next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.